So there's a category forming in marketing right now that I think most people haven't fully wrapped their heads around yet. And a funding round from yesterday just put a big spotlight on it. Bluefish, an AI marketing startup, just closed a $43 million Series B that brings their total funding to 68 million. The round was co-led by Threshold Ventures and NEA, and the investor list tells you a lot about who's paying attention. MX Ventures, Salesforce Ventures, TIAA Ventures, and Bloomberg Beta all participate. So, what does Bluefish actually do? They help brands monitor and influence how they show up inside AI platforms, ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, Amazon Rufus, all the AI tools that are increasingly how people discover and compare products. Think about it like this. Right now, if someone asks ChatGPT which running shoes are best for flat feet, the AI gives an answer. It recommends specific brands by name, and the brand has almost zero visibility into what that answer says or why those brands were picked. Bluefish gives companies a window into that. They process millions of AI prompts and responses every day across all the major AI providers. So a brand like Adidas can see how they're being represented in AI conversations versus Nike or New Balance. And this isn't a tiny startup selling to early adopters. About 10% of the Fortune 500 is already using it. Their customer list includes Adidas, American Express, Hearst, LVMH, and Ulta Beauty. These are massive companies that see AI visibility as a real channel now. Here's why this matters for marketing teams at any scale. AI referral traffic is growing fast. We've talked on the show about AI referred shoppers converting 31% higher and bouncing 33% less. But until now, there hasn't really been a way to manage your brand presence across these platforms the same way you'd manage your SEO or your paid search. Bluefish is calling this space agentic marketing, and they're estimating it at a $500 billion opportunity. That might sound aggressive, but when you think about how much money already flows into making sure brands show up correctly on Google, the idea that brands will need to do the same thing for AI is pretty intuitive. The $43 million is going toward hiring, international expansion, and building out the product. So expect this category to get louder over the next few months. If you're running marketing for a brand that sells products people research online, this is worth putting on your radar. Because the way your brand gets talked about inside ChatGPT and Gemini is already shaping purchase decisions. And right now, most companies have no idea what those AI platforms are actually saying about them. Okay, so here's a story that's not directly about marketing, but I think it's going to affect every marketing budget in ways that nobody is really talking about yet. Fortune reported yesterday that US utilities have raised their capital spending plans to $1.4 trillion through 2030. That's a 27% jump from 1.1 trillion just 1 year ago. And the number one reason for that increase is AI data centers. A nonprofit called Powerlines put out a report. They tracked 51 investor owned utility companies across the country, and the picture is pretty striking. The biggest chunk of spending is in the South, $572 billion planned from Texas up to Maryland. Then the Midwest at $272 billion. Those are the regions where data centers are being built fastest right now. Now, here's the number that should grab your attention. Consumer utility bills have already gone up about 40% since 2021. And Powerlines estimates that residential customers could end up paying for nearly half of that 1.4 trillion. That's about $700 billion flowing through to household electric bills over the next 4 years. So, what does a utility spending report have to do with your marketing budget? Think about it this way. Every AI powered marketing tool you use runs on data centers that need this electricity. Meta's Advantage Plus, Google's Performance Max, the AI platforms we just talked about with Bluefish, all of it burns compute. All of that compute needs power. When utility companies raise their rates, that flows through to cloud computing prices. Cloud providers like AWS and Google Cloud pass those costs to their customers, which means SaaS companies raise their prices and your marketing tech stack gets more expensive. But there's a second angle too. When household energy bills climb 40%, consumers have less money to spend on everything else. And when consumers have less money, your cost per acquisition goes up. Your conversion rates go down. Every marketing dollar has to work harder. This isn't going to hit all at once. It's a 4 year trajectory from now through 2030. But the era of cheap compute that made all this AI marketing possible it's getting a real price tag attached to it now.